All right, so get this. We're diving into Super Bowl LIX conspiracies today.
Oh, this is going to be good.
You know, the Super Bowl, it always seems to spark some wild theories.
It does.
And this year is no different.
Right.
We've got a stack of interesting sources to dig through.
Okay.
News articles, fan forums, even a YouTube deep dive.
We'll love those.
I have a feeling we're going to uncover some surprising stuff.
I think we will.
What I find so intriguing is that these theories often pop up around events with huge cultural significance.
Yes.
Like the Super Bowl.
Right.
It's almost as if we can't resist searching for a deeper meaning.
We can't.
Even in a football game.
It's true.
Like there's got to be more to the story than what we see on the surface.
Oh, there's always something.
So before we get lost in the rabbit hole, let's lay out what we're exploring today.
Okay.
We've got the Super Bowl logo theory.
Oh, yeah. That's a popular one.
The Taylor Swift halftime show speculation. And then a third, slightly less popular, but equally fascinating theory about the Chiefs' dominance.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's tackle the logo theory first.
Okay.
Now, some folks are convinced that the Super Bowl logos actually predict the matchup.
Oh, really?
Years in advance, based on the colors.
Interesting.
This year's logo is primarily red and green, which, coincidentally or not, are the colors of the Chiefs and the Eagles.
Okay.
I mean, the Bengals and Rams faced off in Super Bowl LVI, and that year's logo had a lot of orange and yellow.
Bengals and Rams,
Their team colors. And last year's Super Bowl, which was also Chiefs versus Eagles, had,
wait for it,
you guessed it, red and green in the logo.
Wow.
Are we really seeing a pattern here? I mean, come on.
It's tempting to see a connection, especially with those past examples.
Yeah.
But think about it.
Okay.
Many teams share common colors.
That's true.
It's more likely that the NFL is going for a visually appealing design.
Right.
That appeals to a wide audience, not dropping cryptic hints years in advance.
Okay.
And designing a Super Bowl logo is a huge undertaking.
I bet.
They're not switching gears last minute
Right.
based on who makes it to the championship.
Yeah, that's true.
They've got to have that planned out way ahead of time.
Imagine the chaos if they tried to redesign the logo every year at the last minute.
Oh, can you imagine?
Okay, so maybe the logo isn't some secret code.
Probably not.
But what about all the buzz surrounding Taylor Swift and the Super Bowl?
Oh, here we go.
This one goes way beyond just halftime show rumors.
I know, right?
It's like fans are convinced she's going to be involved somehow.
They are.
Especially with her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, playing for the Chiefs.
Yeah, that connection is fueling a lot of the speculation.
Well, there is some interesting evidence to consider.
Okay, I'm listening.
The betting odds for Swift performing with Kendrick Lamar at halftime initially stood at 16-1.
16-1.
They've since dropped to 8-1. Now, for those unfamiliar, betting odds reflect the likelihood of an event happening.
Yes.
So lower odds suggest more people believe it's possible.
But people are putting their money where their mouth is.
Hold on. So people are actually putting their money on this happening.
They are.
That's wild.
It is pretty crazy.
And I heard they're not just betting on the halftime show.
What else?
There are bets on whether she'll sing the national anthem.
Oh, wow.
Be mentioned in the MVP speech.
Holy.
Even if she'll post about the Chiefs on Instagram.
Seriously.
What's driving this obsession?
Well, I think it speaks to the power of celebrity culture and fan speculation.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift has a massive, dedicated fan base.
She does.
And the Super Bowl is a global stage.
It is.
The idea of her appearing, especially with her connection to Kelce, is incredibly appealing to fans.
I can see that.
And, of course, the Bad Blood remix she did with Lamar fuels the halftime show speculation.
Okay, but that song came out ages ago.
It did.
Would it really be relevant for a Super Bowl halftime show?
That's a good question.
Wouldn't they go for something newer, more current?
You raise a good point.
Right.
While the Bad Blood connection is there, it might not be the most strategic choice.
Okay.
For a halftime show aiming for mass appeal, still, you can't deny the public interest and how these betting odds reflect that.
Okay, so we've got the logo theory, which is probably just a fun coincidence.
Probably.
And the Taylor Swift frenzy, which, who knows, might actually have some weight to it.
We'll see.
But now let's get to a theory.
Okay.
That's a little less lighthearted and maybe a bit more controversial.
Ooh, interesting.
It's the idea that the Chiefs' recent success is somehow manufactured.
What?
Too good to be true.
Okay.
5 Super Bowls in 6 years.
I mean, that's pretty impressive.
17 one-score wins in a row.
Wow.
Some fans are saying it's got to be rigged. This theory is fascinating because it taps into a fundamental tension in sports fandom.
It does.
We crave unpredictability.
Oh, yeah.
The thrill of the underdog.
For sure.
But we also love to see our teams dominate.
Of course.
So where's the line?
Right.
When does a team's success become so consistent that it starts to feel suspicious?
Interesting question.
Yeah, like maybe the excitement fades?
I can see that.
When it feels like the outcome is preordained?
Yeah, like it's all scripted.
And I've seen this debate play out in the fan forums.
Oh, I bet.
Some Chiefs fans are loving this potential dynasty.
Makes sense.
But others, especially fans of rival teams, are calling for a change.
Right.
They're tired of seeing the Chiefs win.
Especially in those close games.
Especially in such nail-biting fashion.
Yeah.
It almost feels scripted, you know? Like every game is engineered for maximum drama.
Like a reality TV show.
That's a really interesting perspective.
It is.
It speaks to our psychological need for fairness. Right. For a level playing field. But it also makes you wonder...
What's that?
Is this suspicion rooted in genuine concern about the integrity of the game? Or is it simply a case of sour grapes?
That's a good question.
That's a good question.
It's probably a bit of both, honestly.
Maybe it's a bit of both.
Yeah.
It's hard not to be a little envious when you see another team achieving such incredible success.
Especially when your team is struggling.
Especially when your own team is struggling.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it does make you wonder, are the Chiefs just that good?
Right.
Or is there something else going on behind the scenes? I mean...
There's no denying.
Right.
The Chiefs have a remarkably talented roster.
They do.
Starting with Patrick Mahomes, who's arguably the best quarterback in the league right now.
He's amazing.
Plus, they have a brilliant coach in Andy Reid.
Oh, yeah. Andy Reid's a legend.
But even with all that,
right,
their consistent success, those close wins, those dramatic comebacks, it does make you wonder, is it all a bit too perfect?
All right, so we've got 3 intriguing theories on the table.
Let's recap.
The logo theory.
Okay.
Which is probably just a fun coincidence.
Probably.
The Taylor Swift speculation, which has fans buzzing and betting odds shifting.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs' dominance theory, which raises questions about the very nature of competition and fairness in sports.
Big questions.
And I think what's fascinating about all of these theories, regardless of their validity, is that they reflect our desire to find meaning and patterns in the world.
We do. We love patterns.
Even in something as seemingly random as a football game.
I know. It's like we're trying to decode the universe through football.
Right.
We want to believe there's a reason for everything.
Yeah.
That nothing is truly left to chance.
I guess that makes sense.
And maybe that's why we're so drawn to these Super Bowl conspiracies.
Oh, maybe.
They offer us a sense of control. A way to make sense of the unpredictable.
It's like we're looking for clues.
We are.
For hidden messages.
Yes.
For evidence that there's more to the story than what we see on the surface.
Exactly.
And sometimes, even if those clues aren't really there, we find comfort in creating them ourselves.
It's true.
So, to all our listeners out there,
get your tinfoil hats ready. Keep your eyes peeled during the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
You never know what hidden meanings or secret messages you might uncover.
You might crack the code.
But more importantly, enjoy the game.
Right.
The spectacle and the camaraderie.
Absolutely.
After all, that's what the Super Bowl's really about, right?
It is. It's about coming together and having fun.
Absolutely.
It's about coming together, sharing a collective experience, and celebrating the sport we love, even if that love sometimes manifests in the form of wild conspiracy theories.
Speaking of wild theories.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. We haven't even touched on the Barstool Sports YouTube deep dive yet.
Oh, no.
This one's a doozy.
I bet.
And it involves Janet Jackson, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Wait, what?
And a supposed plot to destroy the NFL.
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob is involved.
Now I'm really intrigued.
I told you this one was good.
This sounds like it's going to get interesting.
Oh, it definitely does.
Get ready for a deep dive into the depths of Super Bowl conspiracy lore.
We're going deep.
We'll be back after a short break.
Okay.
To unravel this bizarre and entertaining theory.
Can't wait. All right, so before the break, we were teasing a deep dive into the depths of Super Bowl conspiracy lore.
I know. It's crazy, right?
Courtesy of Barstool Sports.
Oh, those guys.
Now, this one takes us back to Super Bowl XXVIII in 2004.
Okay.
And Janet Jackson's infamous wardrobe malfunction.
Oh, right.
During the halftime show.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, the incident that launched 1,000 think pieces. I know, it was everywhere.
I remember that.
But,
yeah.
How does SpongeBob factor into all of this?
Well, this Barstool Sports YouTube video, titled Things You Missed. The Super Bowl halftime conspiracy they don't want you to know about.
That's a mouthful.
Suggests it wasn't just a random mishap.
Really?
They claim it was a deliberate act.
Yeah, come on.
Orchestrated by Viacom.
Viacom?
The media conglomerate that owns MTV and CBS to sabotage the NFL.
Wait, sabotage the Super Bowl?
That's what they're saying.
Why would they do that?
The theory hinges on the fact that CBS had broadcasting rights to a rival football league.
Oh, right.
Back in the early 2000s.
Interesting.
The video posits that Viacom wanted to damage the NFL's reputation and boost their own league's popularity.
I guess that makes sense from a business standpoint.
So they're saying Viacom intentionally created a scandal to make the NFL look bad.
That's a bold claim.
It is.
And it gets even wilder.
Oh, really?
The video then connects this theory to a series of seemingly random events and celebrity appearances.
Like what?
Claiming a trend of early 2000s stars sporting tribal sun tattoos is somehow connected.
Tribal sun tattoos.
They specifically point to Nick Lachey, Cisco.
The Cisco, wow.
And even Adam Levine.
Adam Levine.
Who all have ties
to
Viacom-owned companies. Okay, now I'm really lost.
I know, it's a lot to unpack.
How do tribal sun tattoos fit into a conspiracy to ruin the Super Bowl?
Well, the video draws a line from Janet Jackson's incident to these tattoos, suggesting they're all part of a larger scheme.
No way.
Orchestrated by Viacom.
Really?
They even go so far.
Don't tell me.
As to predict.
They predict what?
SpongeBob SquarePants.
SpongeBob.
Another Viacom property will somehow be involved in ruining this year's Super Bowl.
Wow, they really went all in on this theory.
They did.
It's definitely entertaining.
Right.
But I'm not sure I'm buying it.
I understand.
It seems like they're connecting a lot of random dots without any real evidence.
They're reaching a little bit.
You're right to be skeptical.
Yeah.
This theory is presented with a heavy dose of humor and speculation.
I mean, it's Barstool.
And it's ultimately up to the viewer to decide.
Exactly.
Whether they buy into it or not.
Right.
I guess it's all in good fun, right?
I think so.
It's a reminder that sometimes we seek patterns and hidden meanings.
We do.
Even when they're not really there.
It's true. Exactly.
Right.
And the Super Bowl, with its massive scale and cultural significance, seems to be a prime breeding ground for these kinds of theories.
Definitely.
Like, we can't resist trying to decode the spectacle.
It's true.
And find a deeper meaning behind it all.
Speaking of decoding.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe we should take a step back.
Okay. And try to unpack why we're so drawn to these theories in the first place.
That's a good question.
What is it about the human psyche that makes us crave these hidden meanings and alternative explanations?
Well, it's partly about our natural tendency to seek patterns and connections.
Right.
Our brains are wired to make sense of the world.
Right.
And sometimes that leads us to see patterns where none exist.
I've definitely been there.
Especially when we're dealing with complex or emotionally charged situations.
Like the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
So you're saying that when it comes to something as big and exciting as the Super Bowl, our brains go into overdrive, trying to find meaning and order and all the chaos?
Exactly.
Okay.
And let's not forget the emotional investment. For many fans, the Super Bowl is more than just a game. It's a tribal ritual, a source of pride and identity.
It is.
So
when the outcome doesn't go our way, it can be tempting.
I know.
To seek an explanation.
Right.
Even if that explanation involves shadowy conspiracies.
Right, because admitting that sometimes luck just isn't on your side is a lot less satisfying than blaming a secret cabal of Illuminati lizard people.
Exactly.
But seriously, it's interesting how these theories often crop up.
They do.
When people feel like they've lost control.
It's about finding an external locus of control. Instead of accepting that sometimes things just happen randomly, we latch onto the idea that some powerful force is pulling the strings.
Right.
It gives us a sense of agency.
Right.
Even if that agency is illusory.
Okay.
And with the rise of social media, these theories can spread like wildfire.
I know, right?
Finding fertile ground among those who are already predisposed to distrusting official narratives.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Social media has created echo chambers where these ideas can circulate and reinforce each other.
Right.
It's a double-edged sword.
Okay.
On the one hand, it allows for greater access to information and diverse perspectives. But on the other hand, it can also facilitate the spread of misinformation and conspiracy theories.
That's true. So how do we navigate this complex landscape?
That's the million-dollar question.
How do we encourage critical thinking without stifling curiosity or shutting down alternative perspectives?
It's a delicate balance.
Right.
We need to promote media literacy.
Okay.
Teach people how to evaluate sources and identify bias. We also need to be aware of our own biases and how they might influence our interpretation of information.
Right, because we all have our own preconceived notions and beliefs.
We do.
And it's important to recognize how those might be shaping our worldview.
Yeah.
But isn't there a risk of going too far in the other direction?
I see what you're saying.
I mean, should we just dismiss every unconventional theory as nonsense?
Not necessarily.
Right.
I think there's a healthy middle ground between blind acceptance and outright dismissal.
Right.
We can approach these theories with a critical yet open mind, recognizing that sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction.
That's true. So it's about finding that sweet spot.
It is.
Between skepticism and wonder.
I like that.
Right. Being curious, but also cautious, questioning, but also open to new possibilities.
Exactly. And ultimately, I think it's important to remember that these theories, even the most outlandish ones, can tell us something about ourselves.
What do you mean?
About our anxieties, our hopes, and our desire to make sense of the world around us.
That's a great point.
It is.
So while we might chuckle at some of these Super Bowl conspiracies, maybe they're also worth considering.
I think so.
On a deeper level. They might offer a glimpse into our collective psyche, revealing our shared fears and fascinations.
I agree. Precisely.
Right.
And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe by examining these theories, we can learn something valuable about ourselves and the world we live in.
Okay.
But now, let's shift gears and bring it back to the game itself.
Okay. Sounds good.
Beyond the conspiracies and speculation, what are the key narratives that are shaping this year's Super Bowl?
That's a great question.
It is.
I'm excited to hear your take on this. I know one thing for sure.
What's that?
This Super Bowl is already historic.
How so?
It's the first time in Super Bowl history that the same two teams are facing off for the second year in a row.
That's crazy. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
This rematch element adds a whole new layer of intrigue.
It does.
Both teams are coming in with a score to settle, a point to prove.
Absolutely.
The Eagles are hungry for revenge.
I bet.
While the Chiefs are looking to solidify their dynasty status.
It's going to be epic.
It is.
And then you have the quarterback matchup.
Oh, yeah.
Patrick Mahomes versus Jalen Hurts.
What a matchup.
Two of the most electrifying players in the league.
They are.
Each with a unique style.
Yeah.
And undeniable swagger.
It's true.
This is a generational clash.
It is.
That has the potential to go down in history.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the coaches.
Oh, yeah, the coach.
Andy Reid, the mastermind behind the Chiefs' offensive juggernaut.
He's a genius.
Is facing his former team.
Wow.
The Eagles.
That's got to be tough.
It's a story of redemption. A chance for Reid to cement his legacy. As one of the greatest coaches of all time.
So many storylines.
I know, right?
So much anticipation.
It's unbelievable.
It's almost as if the football gods conspired to create the perfect Super Bowl showdown.
You could say that.
And of course, we can't forget about the cultural spectacle surrounding the game.
It's more than just the game.
Rihanna's highly anticipated return to the stage for the halftime show.
That's going to be huge.
The commercials, that will be dissected.
Right.
And debated for weeks to come.
We can't wait to see what they come up with.
The social media frenzy that will engulf the entire event.
It's going to be crazy.
It's a reminder that the Super Bowl is more than just a game.
So much more.
It's a cultural phenomenon. A shared experience that brings people together.
I love that.
Even if it's just to argue about conspiracy theories.
That's true. Absolutely.
Right.
And while those theories can be entertaining, it's important to remember that the real drama unfolds on the field.
Right.
Between the players who have dedicated their lives to this sport.
Their stories, their triumphs, and their heartbreaks are just as compelling as any conspiracy theory.
I agree. Exactly.
Right.
So as we head into the final stretch of our deep dive, let's shift our focus to the human element of the game.
Sounds good.
To the athletes whose dedication and skill make the Super Bowl such a captivating event.
You know, it's easy to get caught up in all the hype and speculation surrounding the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's the players who make this event so special.
Absolutely. We talk about rigged games and hidden agendas.
Yeah.
But these athletes have dedicated their lives to this sport.
It's incredible.
The years of training, the sacrifices they've made, the countless hours of practice. It all culminates in this one game.
Think about the pressure they're under.
Oh, I know.
Performing on a global stage with millions watching.
Millions.
And yet they manage to deliver.
I know. It's amazing.
Incredible feats of athleticism, pushing their bodies and minds to the limit.
It's a testament to human potential.
It is.
And what's often overlooked is the teamwork involved.
Oh, for sure.
It's not just about individual talent.
Right.
But about 11 players working together. Executing complex strategies. Anticipating each other's moves.
It's like a perfectly choreographed dance, except with a lot more brute force and adrenaline.
Right, a little more physical.
And, you know, even if you're not a diehard football fan, you can't help but be awed by the sheer athleticism on display.
It's true. The speed, the agility, the power. It's a spectacle that transcends fandom.
Totally.
And within those moments of brilliance, you see flashes of human ingenuity and determination.
I love that. And let's not forget about the stories behind the players.
Oh, the story.
The underdog who defied the odds.
Yes.
The veteran fighting for one last chance at glory.
Love that.
The rookie stepping onto the field for the first time.
Right.
These narratives add another layer of depth.
They do.
And meaning to the game.
It's those human stories that connect us to the sport that make it more than just a competition.
Absolutely.
And even in defeat, there's a certain nobility in pushing yourself to the limit, knowing you gave it your all.
It reminds us that success isn't always about winning.
It's not.
It's about striving for excellence.
Right.
About overcoming challenges, about the pursuit of a goal that's bigger than yourself.
That's a great point.
And that's something we can all relate to.
We can.
Regardless of our background or our team affiliation.
That's true.
The Super Bowl is a microcosm of life itself.
I like that.
With its triumphs and setbacks.
It's moments of joy and despair. And just like in life. There are no guaranteed outcomes. No matter how much we analyze, predict, or theorize.
It doesn't matter.
The game always has the potential to surprise us.
That's the beauty of it.
It is.
Isn't it that element of unpredictability?
Right.
That sense that anything can happen? It's why we keep coming back year after year.
I know.
Drawn to the drama, the excitement, and the possibility of witnessing something truly extraordinary.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into Super Bowl conspiracies, let's remember that the game itself is the ultimate story.
It is?
It's a story about human potential.
Right.
About teamwork and perseverance. About the thrill of competition. The unpredictable nature of life.
Well said.
And while it's fun to speculate
it is.
And search for hidden meanings, sometimes the most profound truths
are right there in front of us. In the sweat and tears of the players, in the roar of the crowd, in the shared experience of this iconic event.
Well said.
To all our listeners out there,
enjoy the game.
Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Yes.
Savor the moments.
Absolutely.
And appreciate the human drama that unfolds on the field.
I agree.
And who knows, maybe you'll even witness a play.
Yeah.
So extraordinary.
It could happen.
That it sparks a whole new generation
right.
of conspiracy theories.
That's the beauty of the Super Bowl.
It is.
It's a conversation that continues long after the final whistle blows.
That's a good point.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been fun.
And we'll catch you next time.
See you later.
For another exploration of the fascinating and often unexpected.